You have met them before, people who walk into a room and change the atmosphere. They don't beg for attention. They don't demand respect. Yet, they are admired, trusted, and loved. Let me ask you something. Have you ever wondered why some people are naturally magnetic? Why their presence is comforting? Why their words hold weight? It is not magic, it is not luck, it is character. And here is the truth. If you can develop just 5 traits, you will not need to chase people. They will be drawn to you. This is not about manipulation. It is about mastering the kind of person you were created to be. Stay with me until the end, because I promise you, if you understand and apply these 5 principles, it will change how people respond to you for life. The secret behind being truly liked isn't popularity, it's value. In a world that constantly pushes people to seek attention, chase likes, and strive for followers, there's something much deeper that causes people to be genuinely drawn to someone. It's not how loud you are, how funny your jokes are, or how many friends you have. It's the invisible presence you carry, the value you bring into every room you enter, every conversation you have, and every life you touch. People are not just looking for someone to entertain them. They're searching for someone who brings peace when they feel anxious, clarity when they feel confused, strength when they feel weak, and meaning when they feel lost. And the moment someone experiences that kind of value through you, they remember you, not because you impressed them, but because you impacted them. This kind of value doesn't come from trying to be liked. It comes from developing yourself. It comes from becoming a person who understands others, who knows when to speak and when to be silent, who has a heart big enough to care and ears wise enough to listen. Being liked is no longer about being everywhere and being seen. It's about being someone people feel safe with, someone they trust, someone who makes them feel important and heard. Think about it. People remember how you made them feel far more than they remember what you said. If you walk into someone's life and bring them light when they're in darkness, they will never forget you. If your words lift them when they're falling, if your presence gives them rest when they're weary, that's the kind of impact that outlives the moment. The mistake many people make is trying to become what they think others want. They change, they adjust, they perform, but in doing so they lose the very thing that makes them valuable, their authenticity. When you bring your whole honest self into a space and choose to offer something real, whether it's encouragement, compassion, wisdom, or just a calming presence, you set yourself apart. Popularity is about visibility, value is about impact, and the truth is value lasts longer. People may not always remember your name, but they will remember the way you made them feel when they were around you. Being truly liked starts when people feel better, stronger, and more alive because of their connection with you. And when you live your life focused on bringing value instead of seeking validation, you don't have to chase people, you attract them. So ask yourself, what do I bring when I show up? Do I add pressure or peace, confusion or clarity? Do people feel drained or inspired after talking to me? Because when you begin living a life that gives more than it takes, when your presence becomes a gift instead of a demand, You won't need popularity. You'll have something better, deep, lasting respect and genuine connection. Being liked isn't about being perfect, but purposeful. Perfection is an illusion that many chase, thinking it's the key to acceptance. But people don't connect with perfection, they connect with purpose. They connect with realness, with flaws that are embraced, and with a life that is moving in a clear, meaningful direction. When someone is purposeful, there's something magnetic about them. They know who they are, they understand why they do what they do, and they're not easily shaken by the opinions or expectations of others. That stability draws people in. We often think people will only like us if we present the best version of ourselves, the polished, filtered version that never makes mistakes and always has the right answer. But that image is hard to maintain, and deep down, people don't trust it. They don't want someone who looks flawless. They want someone who's authentic, someone who's real, someone who is striving towards something meaningful despite imperfection. Purpose gives you presence. When you have purpose, you don't need to compete or compare because your value is not tied to someone else's approval. You walk into a room differently. You speak with clarity. You listen with intention. You move with direction. People are naturally drawn to that. They may not even know why, but they feel it. There's a calm confidence in someone who knows where they're going and why they're going there. Even your flaws take on new meaning when you live with purpose. Instead of hiding them, you grow from them. Instead of being ashamed, you become an example. People see that and they respect it. They admire those who rise from broken places with vision. That's what makes someone truly likable. Not that they've never fallen, but that they got up with purpose. So if you want to be loved, stop trying to be perfect. Start becoming purposeful. Let your life be a message, not a performance. Be the kind of person who knows why they're here and who uses every day to walk closer to that purpose. That kind of clarity, that kind of intention is powerful, it's rare, and because it's rare, it's unforgettable. When you live with purpose, you give people something deeper than admiration. You give them inspiration. People never forget those who inspire them. These 5 traits are not just social tricks, they're life principles. So many people today are focused on how to appear likable. They memorize clever phrases, mimic body language, or adopt behaviors they believe others will accept. But the truth is, being genuinely liked by people isn't about performing, it's about becoming. You don't need to learn how to fake kindness or copy confidence. You need to build a life rooted in values that naturally attract respect and admiration. When something is real, it doesn't have to try hard to prove itself. It simply speaks for itself. There's a difference between influence and impression. An impression might last a moment, but influence stays. And what causes influence? It's not charm, it's not style, it's not how many people follow you. Influence comes from living out strong, consistent principles. Being the kind of person who others can look up to, rely on, and trust. These 5 types of people aren't loved just because of how they talk or dress. They are loved because of the effect they have on others. And that effect is rooted in deep, unshakable principles. The people everyone loves are those who live from the inside out. They don't shape-shift to please the crowd. They don't compromise who they are just to gain acceptance. Instead, they've built their lives on timeless values: kindness, integrity, humility, strength, compassion. And because of that, they radiate authenticity. And authenticity is magnetic. People crave realness in a world full of pretense. When you become someone who stands firm in your values, people won't just like you, they'll respect you. And that respect will often grow into deep admiration and even love. This is not about learning how to charm people in a moment. It's about building a character that can carry relationships for a lifetime. A person who is kind because it's who they are, not because they want something. A person who helps because they care, not because they want credit. A person who speaks truth because it matters, not because it's popular. These principles form a foundation that cannot be shaken by circumstances or opinions, and over time, that consistency builds trust. And trust is the soil where deep connection grows. You don't need to change who you are to be liked. You need to refine who you are. You need to nurture the qualities that bring life to others. And when those principles become a lifestyle, when they're no longer just choices you make in front of people, but habits you practice in private, something shifts. People will begin to notice. They'll start to feel different around you. Safe, inspired, encouraged, and without even trying, you'll find yourself becoming one of those rare individuals the world deeply loves. Not because you performed, but because you became. The right character can open doors that talent alone cannot. Talent may get you noticed, but it is character that keeps you respected. In a world that celebrates skill, appearance, and performance, it's easy to believe that being good at something is all it takes to succeed and be liked. But history and life have proven over and over that talent without character is dangerous. It's unstable. It can take you to the top, but it can't hold you there. What people truly admire, remember, and trust is not how talented you are. It's who you are when no one's watching. Character is what people feel when they're around you. It's the invisible weight behind your words, the quiet strength behind your actions, the consistency behind your promises. When someone has strong character, they don't need to shout to be heard or demand respect to be taken seriously. Their life speaks for them. People are drawn to that kind of stability, not perfection, but integrity. They may admire someone's skill, but they build relationships with those they trust. And trust is earned through character, not charisma. You can be the most talented person in the room and still be ignored if people sense that you lack honesty, humility, or compassion. On the other hand, even if your skills are still developing, a strong character will cause people to believe in you, invest in you, and support your journey. Why? Because people feel safe with someone who is true to their word, who honors others, and who lives with conviction. These are the qualities that create loyalty, deep connection, and long-term influence. Doors will open for you not just because of what you can do, but because of how you treat people while doing it. Talent might impress someone for a moment, but character leaves a mark on their soul. It's not the most gifted speaker or the most skilled worker that people follow. It's the one they believe in. And belief is built on consistency, humility, and a genuine desire to do what is right, even when it costs you. This is why working on your character is never a waste of time. Every act of integrity, every moment of kindness, every decision to be honest, these are the quiet builders of influence. And over time, they create a reputation that is more valuable than any talent. People might cheer for your success, but they will love you for your integrity. And that kind of love can't be faked. It can't be bought. It's earned. And once you have it, it becomes one of the greatest treasures you can carry in life. Because character doesn't just open doors, it keeps them open. Being kind is not a weakness, it's a superpower. In a world where so many people are guarded, skeptical, and carrying silent pain, kindness stands out like a light in the darkness. It doesn't have to be loud, dramatic, or flashy. True kindness is quiet strength. It's the choice to show patience when others are losing theirs, to offer a smile when someone looks down, to give grace when someone fails, and while it might seem small in the moment, those simple acts can have a ripple effect that goes far beyond what you can see. Kind people are often the ones remembered the longest, not because they tried to be noticed, but because they made others feel noticed. They leave a mark, not by showing off their power, but by showing they care, and care is rare. People are tired of fake smiles and shallow words. They crave real connection, someone who sees them, hears them, and values them, not for what they do, but for who they are. That's what kindness does. It communicates worth in a world that often makes people feel invisible. And here's the truth. Everyone is going through something. Everyone is fighting battles you may never see. When you show up with kindness, you may be the only gentle voice in someone's day, the only encouragement in someone's week. That matters. That sticks. People remember how you made them feel, and kindness has a way of softening even the hardest hearts. Over time, it builds bridges, restores hope, and turns strangers into friends. The most respected, loved, and admired people in any room are usually the ones who know how to be strong and soft at the same time. They don't walk over people to get ahead. They lift others as they rise. They treat everyone with dignity, not just those who can offer something in return. That kind of person becomes unforgettable. Why? Because kindness is powerful, and rare power always stands out. What's more, kindness reflects strength, not weakness. It takes a strong heart to remain gentle in a harsh world. It takes courage to forgive, to show compassion, to help someone when it's inconvenient. But when you do, you rise above the noise of selfishness and become the kind of person others naturally gravitate toward. Not because you demanded attention, but because your presence brought comfort and peace. Being kind doesn't mean letting people walk all over you. It means you choose to walk through life in a way that heals instead of hurts. And the more people feel safe, encouraged, and valued around you, the more they will love you. Because in the end, people might forget your name, but they'll never forget your kindness. Emotional intelligence is one of the most powerful and underrated traits a person can have. It's not about how smart you are, how many degrees you hold, or how much you know. It's about how well you understand yourself and others. When you develop emotional intelligence, you gain the ability to respond instead of react, to listen instead of judge, and to connect instead of compete. That ability makes people feel seen, safe, and understood, which in turn makes them naturally drawn to you. In every relationship, personal or professional, what people remember most is not what you said, but how you made them feel. Someone with emotional intelligence knows how to walk into a room and sense the energy. They can feel tension without needing words, and they respond with grace instead of fueling the fire. They don't try to win every argument or prove every point. Instead, they seek to understand. That creates peace. And peace is rare. In a world full of chaos, people are instinctively drawn to those who carry peace. The emotionally intelligent person doesn't get easily offended. They don't explode in anger or shut down in silence when things don't go their way. They know how to process their emotions in a healthy way and choose the best response instead of the fastest one. That kind of self-betrayal is not only powerful, it's attractive. It shows maturity, and people naturally respect those who don't let their emotions control them. But emotional intelligence isn't just about managing your own emotions, it's also about reading others. It's about picking up on the subtle cues, a change in tone, a flicker of doubt, an unspoken concern. And instead of ignoring it, you acknowledge it. You ask the right questions. You make others feel valued simply by paying attention. That level of awareness makes people feel deeply connected to you, often in ways they can't even explain. They just feel like you get them. And that sense of being understood is something everyone craves. People love those who make them feel emotionally safe. That doesn't mean agreeing with everyone or being overly passive. It means you know how to handle tough conversations with care. You know when to speak and when to stay silent. You understand that timing is just as important as truth. And because of that, people trust you. They confide in you. They want you around because your presence doesn't create tension. It brings calm and clarity. Emotional intelligence transforms the way people experience you. It softens your edges without weakening your strength. It lets people see your heart without you having to say much. And in a world where so many people feel misunderstood, the one who understands becomes the one who is loved the most. Which one of these 5 people are you right now? And which one will you choose to become? This isn't about being liked by everyone. It's about becoming someone worth loving. Because when you become this kind of person, you won't just be liked. You'll be remembered. You'll be honored. You'll be followed. Not because of what you have, but because of who you are.